Hello again, welcome back to my YouTube videos. I would like to thank everybody who watched my first video and the positive comments that I've had off almost everybody. I don't think everybody's watched it yet, but it is available on the YouTube channel. I've been asked to give my testimony on a video like this, and I will do, but not this week, maybe next week or the week after. And last time I spoke about a retired minister who said he found retirement boring, and I said that boring is not a kingdom word. Well, there's another word that is not a kingdom word, and that is retirement. No, it's not a kingdom word, it's an earthly word. Approximately 10 years ago maybe, I got the impression that there's an urgency in the kingdom and the need to spread the word, to teach people the gospel and to bring people to Christ. Because in the scriptures, for example in Matthew 9:37, it speaks of the plentiful harvest, but the workers are few. And if you think about a harvest, it has to be gathered in a certain time scale, otherwise it will be ruined. And so I got the sense of urgency. I don't know how long I've got on this earth. I might not have reached the ripe old age that I have done of 70. As I say, roughly 10 years ago, when I was about 60, I had no idea how long I had left on this earth, but I knew that God had work for me to do. And so this urgency in older age, I think, is an important factor to understand. This urgency to get as many people saved as we can. I know there are many people who've been in church all their lives and they get elderly and they pack it in because they say, I've done my bit, it's time for somebody else to take over. Well, Ecclesiastes 3 speaks about there being a season for everything. Okay, you've had your season working in church, but you have not retired from God's kingdom. There's still plenty to do. And we need to be sure that this urgency is understood by more elderly people like me. I don't feel old. As I said last time, I've got health problems, but I don't feel old. But if you're wondering what you can do in the latter years, just think of people like Billy Graham. He was still spreading the word at 99. 99 years old. It puts us to shame. He's only one example, right? Now then, the youth of today is very important for the church because they're our leaders of tomorrow. And if they don't know how to lead, then the church may go astray. But the youth and the new Christians, they've got this vitality, this, I had the word a minute ago, but it's gone now. They had the passion. and they're out there telling people about Jesus. But as you mature, after a few years, you get set in your ways and you lose that initial enthusiasm and that initial passion, and it becomes a way of life. Well, that's wrong. We need to find our first love with Christ, and we need to get back to that enthusiasm and that get up and go, because that's important. One of the jobs of the elder Christian is to nurture the younger ones who are coming through in order to be better than you. You've got to bring them through, teach them the things you know, teach them the things you've learnt, teach them the things of God, of Christ, what He's taught you. And we need this enthusiasm to bring the youth up to our level at an earlier age than we are, if that makes sense. And the youth is the future. We has-beens have been, but we've still got a role to do. There is still a season of work for the elderly Christian. We've still got to praise God, we've still got to go to church, we've still got to meet people, but we've got to spread out. We've got to spread the word out into the world. I've been in churches on a Sunday morning service, and I've stood at the lectern and I've said to the people, "What are you doing here this morning? Why are you here?" And they look at me blank. And I just say, it is a metaphorical question. Of course you should meet in church on a Sunday. But it's not just a Sunday. It's every day, every minute of every day. And the people who God wants you to meet, you will not meet in church on Sunday morning. You've got to get out into the world. Even if it's only going into cafes and speaking to people. As you're walking down the street, think, is the Spirit pointing anybody out to me? And don't worry what you're going to say to people. I used to do. I used to be really frightened of approaching strangers because I've got an impediment in my speech and I've got to be careful what I say. So, if you approach a stranger, just say, "Hi, are you okay? I have a feeling that there's something wrong." And it's amazing how people will open up and speak to strangers. And if you say you're a Christian, ask if you can pray for them. I mean, I've prayed for people in supermarkets, in car parks. It doesn't matter. God is with you if you are doing His work. And He says in Scripture, don't worry about what you're going to say. Open your mouth and I'll put the words there. And He does. I've experienced that many times. Especially the last time I went to India. I went for 6 weeks. But I was there for 4 weeks on my own. And I knew I would have a lot of speaking engagements. For example, on a Sunday, I had 5 engagements, and they call it a day of rest. So, in anticipation of this, I made lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of notes on my iPad. And I thought that might not be enough, so I made loads and loads and loads and loads and loads more notes. And on my first engagement, I was at the lectern, opened my iPad. I didn't switch it on, but I opened it. And not once in those 6 weeks did I refer to all the notes I'd made. I remember about on the 3rd day, I was speaking. And while I was speaking, I was thinking, where's this coming from? But obviously I knew where it was coming from. And we hear the story that he will put words into your mouth. But experiencing that over such a long period of time, and there were times when I was speaking over 2 hours, not once referring to the notes I'd made. I don't say gobsmacked, I say godsmacked. Because that's what it is. It's a lesson. He's showing you how faithful he is and how truthful he is, and more important, how you can trust him. Trust and obey, like I said last time. It's the only way is with Christ in your life. If you've enjoyed these videos, I would like you to subscribe, because I can't be sending out links every time I make one to everybody. But if you subscribe to the channel, and if you do a search on Rev Stephen M. Lawson, you'll find my channel. That will be Stephen with a PH. Rev Stephen M. Lawson, and you'll find it. I also have a website with contact email addresses. The site needs updating, and I've started to do that. But the address for that site is www.newlifeinchrist, all one word, newlifeinchrist.org.uk. I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as last time, and I look forward to your feedback. And until next time, thank you and God bless.